Welcome back. The people of Saboke in Ilorin East, a local government area of Kwara State, have been enduring epileptic power supply for the past 4 years. There have been allegations of a debt by the community running into millions of naira. The situation got worse as the community has been in total darkness for the past 4 months due to the disconnection of the area from the source of electricity. Tonight, our community report explains how the people have survived, though they complain that business activity has been affected.
During the daytime, Saboke community in Ilorin East local government area of Kwara State comes alive with activities. For those whose businesses depend solely on electricity, the power generating set come to the rescue. And those who cannot afford the cost of using the generating set resign to fate, and the effect is business gloom. This community has been experiencing power outages for the past 4 years, but now they have to cope with total darkness, as the last time they had the public electricity on was 4 months ago. And in this modern world, here in Saboke, the lanterns and candles are yet to be discarded. Most residents resort to these for partial visibility. This woman tells a sorry tale of major losses as a result of the consistent darkness.
The team is costing us. We lost a lot of things in Alabasa there. There is one house there that they light the candle and they slept off. Before they wake up, the candle have burned their room. The girl have burned. After 2 days, they've been dead.
After exploring options like protest to the electricity provider, residents say they have one more option: to turn to God for the light to return. The community leader says the electricity company, now known as Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, had been giving the community what he referred to as crazy bills. They are made to pay bills without the lights on, and so they stopped paying.
In 2012, Bible came out to tell us we owe about 100 million and we should pay up to date, but we disagreed.
He said we own them and we do not own them any money because they refuse to give us lights and they continue billing us, especially as sometimes they bring crazy bill. At times they will be like 20,000, 15,000 for some people. But when we complain, say just pay your current charges, they will adjust it, but they will not adjust it, they will not add it to our bill.
Engineer Kayode Muyashade is the business manager of Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company in Ilorin. He confirms the rift over the allegation of huge bills, but insisted the community must pay them. He says the people are quite stiff-necked.
As a new business manager in the Challenge Business Hall, he can set their outstanding aside while they go ahead with the payment of their current bills. But this still didn't go down well with them. It appears from people among them are hitting facts on the contribution they make within the community.
On the state government's part, efforts are on to mediate between the community and the electricity provider to bring a lasting solution to the crisis.
Management of Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company have assured us that by the special grace of God, they are not leaving any stone unturned. They will do everything humanly possible to ensure that steady power supply is restored to the residents of Saboke community.
It's not yet clear how soon or long the mediation process will kick off and end. Residents of Saboke may have to wait for their bulbs to light up again, but not with the power generating set.
A total of 70 bodies have so far been identified of the 116 dead victims recovered from the 6-story guest house which collapsed in the premises of the Synagogue Church of All Nations on September 12th. Of this figure, 54 are South Africans, while the others are from Zimbabwe, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Togo, and the Republic of Benin and Nigeria. This was revealed by the Chief Medical Examiner of Lagos State, Professor John Obafunwa, at a meeting between the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, and the South African Special Envoy, who is in the country to finalize arrangements for repatriation of the bodies. Our correspondent, Kelvin Obeton, reports.
It's exactly 2 months since the 6-story building collapsed, killing over 100 people, most of whom are South Africans. Since his arrival in Nigeria, the Special Envoy on the repatriation of the bodies, Jeff Radebe, has held discussions with the President to speed up the repatriation process, and now he's meeting with the Lagos State Governor to brief him on the state of preparedness and seek permission to transport the remains of the dead.
The whole nation in South Africa is in mourning, so especially the families had to endure these 2 months of waiting in order to bring closure to this incident. So we are with the team here, we are ready to repatriate them. When we get the green light, the infrastructure is ready. 2 aircrafts may be arriving and landing here in Lagos on Saturday so that we can be able to repatriate the mortal remains.
If relatives were in South Africa, it was easier to use a laboratory in South Africa from where we could take samples of survivors, relatives, to match with the samples of victims who had died. I have no reason whatsoever not to permit you to take those 54. So you have my okay to take them.
But sadly, only 70 bodies have been identified and may be ready to return home.
We had 116 bodies, and we've been through the process of doing the post-mortem examination, the dental charting, photography, fingerprinting, collection of samples, and co. Out of the 70 that we've identified, 54 of them are South Africans. The rest, looking at the names, Nigerians, Benin Republic, Togo, those are the ones I can remember now. It's expected that more results will come in apart from the 70.
Meanwhile, the Lagos State government promises to keep the South African government abreast of a coroner's inquest set up to investigate the incident. Kelvin Obetin, Channels Television News.
First Bank.
We're running you through business news now. The Federal Executive Council has unveiled the new 100 Naira note designed to commemorate Nigeria's 100 years of existence. A bit from the Council on the sample of the new note, which is yet to be printed. The Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godswill Emefiele, said this is part of the Central Bank of Nigeria's contribution to the centenary celebration. Some of the new features include window micro-optics, public authentication features, the national flag, and the number 100, indicating the value of the denomination and the attainment of the centenary period. The new Naira note also retains the portrait of Chief Obafemi Awolowo and an embossed line for the visually impaired. According to the CBN, the new note is expected to be in circulation from the 19th of December.
There are many different examples of countries that have issued notes for different reasons. For instance, Morocco issued new currency to celebrate its 25 years of the country's banknote production company. Russia recently also issued banknotes to mark 100 days before the 2014 Olympics. Costa Rica issued new banknotes to celebrate 100 years of its independence.
Central Bank Governor Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Now, 23 automobile companies have indicated interest in establishing their assembling plants in Nigeria. This is according to the National Automotive Council, the NAC. At a meeting of the council with local automobile dealers in Lagos, the Director General of the NAC, Aminu Jalal, said there are 6 companies now producing vehicles locally. However, the Motor Dealers Association of Nigeria wants licensed dealers to be incorporated into the dealership arrangement of the locally produced vehicles. And in other news, the federal government has raised 65 billion naira worth of bonds in an auction today using the Dutch auction system. According to the Debt Management Office, the bills had maturities of 20 years. The DMO auctioned 10 billion naira worth of 3-year paper, 30 billion naira worth of the 10-year paper, and 25 billion naira of the 20-year bills. And at the local bourse, the key index gained 0.88% to close at 967.48 points. Bolaji Akinwale has more.
Hello and welcome to the stock market report. The equities market sustained the gains recorded in the 2 previous trading sessions. The key index moved up 0.88% to close at 33,967.48. This also led the market's capitalization to edge up to 11.25 trillion naira. Nigeria Brewers led on the advances table with 8 naira 9 kobo. It came ahead of 7up with 7 naira 8 kobo and 40 oil with 5 naira 34 kobo. On the decliners table, Seplat shared 25 naira 42 kobo, followed by Nestle with 15 naira and Flame with 2 naira 78 kobo. On the activity chart, Continental Insurance, UBA and FBN Holding recorded the highest volume of shares. In total, volume came in at 299.9 million shares at the value of 7.595 billion naira. That's it on the stock market report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Well, that's also a wrap on business news. Amarachi will be back with the rest of the news at 10. Next on the news at 10, Coach Stephen Keshi says Super Eagles are focused and ready for the must-win African Nations Cup qualifier against Congo Brazzaville. More in sports news. Please stay with us.